Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Mech Bay. Today we're going to continue our trilogy of boating weapons. More specifically, this time we're going to focus on long-range missiles, or LRMs. These are usually considered the easy weapon of MechWarrior Online because they are the only weapon besides the Streak SRMs that can actually lock in on a target. And yeah, because you don't need to aim them really, you only need to lock on. Yes, they are easier to hit with. So if you have trouble hitting with your weapons in MechWarrior Online, I highly advise that you try out an LRM boat like this. However, you will need a little bit more awareness about your positioning and yeah, the battlefield in general, because LRM boats, more so than other mechs, have a tendency to be very defenseless when they are left alone. When people just get within 180 meters, your long-range missiles will no longer deal any damage, or deal very little damage. And yeah, then it's of course very easy to kill you. So make sure when playing an LRM mech like this to stick with your team and try to focus, try to only shoot at mechs that you know you're going to hit, because you have a lock-on time, then your missiles have a flight time, and the entire time you need to have a lock on your target. So yeah, those are the two tips for playing an LRM mech, and now let's get to building one. For that I'm going to use my Warhawk, more specifically my Warhawk B variant. That's because the B variant has a missile hardpoint in its center torso, and well, since we're making a missile boat, a missile hardpoint is always very nice. Besides that, I've equipped the left arm from the A variant. Because this is a clan mech, we can switch out certain components for another mech. So you can either take the Warhawk A or the Warhawk Prime left arm. It doesn't really matter, they have the same hardpoints, but the most important one is that we get an extra missile hardpoint, bringing us to a total of 4 missile hardpoints, which is the maximum for a Warhawk. I think 4 missile hardpoints is actually ideal for an assault class LRM boat, because if you have too many of these hardpoints, not only are you going to get a lot of ghost heat when you fire everything at once, which you will sometimes need to do to burst someone down or get through AMS, but also you're going to equip so many launchers that you won't have space left for all the ammo that you require to support them. So 4 missile hardpoints is what I think is best. You can also have less hardpoints, but in that case you don't have enough damage or enough launchers in general to suppress enemies constantly by chain firing. Of course you can run LRMs with less than 4 launchers, but you will need some other weapon, for example a ballistic ultra auto cannon or some more energy weapons, in order to still deal enough suppression or damage. Now what I'm going to do with these 4 missile hardpoints is just to equip 4 LRM-15s. The reason I do 4 LRM-15s, no 10 or 20 in between, is purely because of the cooldown synchronization. If you have 4 of the same weapon type, you can buff them all with the same cooldown module, if you have those, but also just in general their cooldowns will be synchronized. If I would swap one of these for an LRM-20, this LRM-20 has a longer cooldown time than these LRM-15s, so we'll have to wait for the LRM-20 to be back up before I can fire everything at once again, and everything will get out of sync if I don't do that, which is inefficient. Besides that, if I equip this LRM-20, I need to make sure that I actually have the space and the tonnage to support firing more missiles, and that's not always easy to do, especially because this also costs more slots, and I have a lot of fixed slots spent on double heatsinks in the Warhawk. I don't think running an LRM-20 will be feasible in this case. Besides that, if I want to synchronize everything, I can only fit up to an LRM-15 in my center torso. So those are enough reasons to just stick with 4 LRM-15s. And when it comes to ammo, I think that at least 2 tons per launcher is an absolute minimum that you have, that you need to get. So the first thing that I want to equip on here is the tag laser. Sometimes scouts run this as well, but the bonuses don't stack, so don't run more than 1 tag laser. And what it does essentially is it makes mechs targetable when you fire this at them. So even if they are under ECM cover, you can fire your tag laser and it becomes targetable, so you can lock on afterwards. Also, the lock on time is decreased. It accelerates the missile lock time, and it increases your missile accuracy. So when you have this tag laser on someone, the missiles will be less spread out, and you can hit more focused components. You do more focused damage, which is very nice if you want to take out mechs faster. So the tag laser is really nice, and another thing that I'm going to equip is this clan active probe. While this doesn't buff your LRMs immediately, it speeds up the targeting data, so you know which mechs are hurt and which mechs aren't, so it makes you able to remove threats from the battlefield easier. And a hidden feature is that when you don't have ECM equipped yourself, it counters ECM from enemy mechs within 360 meters. So that's very useful if you want to target an ECM mech that's heading for you, trying to get within those 180 meters minimum range of your LRMs. Especially since you don't need to target this, it's just always active. Now we have the absolute bare minimum for a LRM boat, assault class, and we have 9 tons left. So what we now want to do is to make sure that we have backup weapons for when people get too close. For myself, I found out that I really prefer to get 3 medium pulse lasers in the right arm. If you just use them purely as sub 180 meter weapons, you can also use small pulse lasers or regular small lasers. It's all up to you. Just make sure that you don't equip long range weapons, because you need these you need the heat in the long range for just purely for your LRM weapons, so you can keep firing them constantly. The tonnage left, we have 3 tons left, so we're just going to put that into ammo. And the last ton, because I like to fill up all the slots available, is just going to be a double heatsink, which is going to enhance our heat dissipation. And that concludes our LRM boat. It's completely tonnage efficient now. And yeah, I think that's also the end of the episode. I didn't think of a challenge for you to with these LRM boats, but just feel free to try something out yourself, and yeah, I'll see you next time, I hope.